Good evening. The public meeting to gather citizen input on median improvements to US 80 and East Marshall Avenue between Eastman Road and Nansemond Way is now called to order. Tonight's meeting is being conducted via teleconference, and we thank you for your understanding. On the line tonight from the city of Longview, we have Rollin McPhee, Director of Public Works, Macy Wires, Transportation Planning Manager, and Alton Bradley, City Engineer, and Alton will begin the presentation.
This meeting will be held in two parts. A presentation overviewing the project followed by the opportunity for citizens to provide input. This meeting begins a 14-day comment period gathering feedback on these improvements. We are joined tonight by Mr. Bill Hicks, Senior Vice President with Half Associates, who will provide the overview of the project. Next slide. Thank you for joining us. My name is Alton Bradley. I serve as the City Engineer for the City of Longview. This virtual meeting presented by the City of Longview is being provided to share information and encourage comments from the public regarding proposed US 80 East Marshall Avenue Median Improvements Project. This presentation and other documents are available online and can be viewed or downloaded by visiting the City of Longview's website at www.longviewtexas.gov and typing US 80/East Marshall Avenue Median Improvements in the keyword search. Next slide. The overall project length is approximately 1 mile along Highway 80 between US 259 Eastman Road to approximately 1¼ mile west of Loop 281. The purpose of the proposed improvements to US 80 at Marshall Avenue is to improve safety, mobility, and manage traffic at Longview ISD's East Texas Montessori Preparatory Academy. The addition of a median will eliminate existing conflicts by directing westbound bus traffic entering the school via East Marshall to use one specific access point. The raised median will also direct traffic exiting the school to travel eastbound on East Marshall Avenue, eliminating the conflict with the two westbound lanes on East Marshall Avenue. I will now pass the presentation over to our consultant, our project manager, Bill Hicks with Half Associates.
Thank you, Alton. And Scott, if you'd back that up one slide there, I think we're one ahead. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Alton. The existing US 80 East Marshall Avenue roadway is a 5-lane undivided urban street with 12-foot wide travel lanes, 2 in each direction, and a 12-foot wide 2-way left turn lane in the middle. The typical right-of-way width is approximately 100 feet. This is a visual representation of the typical section for the existing US 80 facility within the project limits. The proposed roadway would consist of a 4-lane divided urban street with 11-foot wide travel lanes, 2 in each direction. The proposed median varies in width between 2 and 12 feet. This is a visual representation of the typical section for the proposed US 80 East Marshall Avenue facility within the project limits. The proposed design to date is shown on the preliminary schematic, which is available for viewing and download on the project webpage. The proposed raised median will extend between US 259 Eastman Road to approximately 700 feet east of Nansemond Way. At the end of the raised median, an opportunity for a U-turn maneuver by eastbound passenger cars will be provided. Additionally, larger eastbound vehicles will be able to U-turn at the first crossover east of the Harrison County line. Transportation projects are the result of cooperative efforts with local and regional partners. The City of Longview uses a systematic approach to evaluate many aspects and potential impacts of transportation project alternatives while weighing the needs for safe and efficient travel. Some of these aspects include social, economic, adjacent property, and environmental impacts. Currently, for the proposed project, no commercial structures, residential structures, or public facilities will be displaced. Additionally, no new right-of-way will be required. Potential utility conflicts are currently being analyzed and will be determined at a later time. Under the National Environmental Policy Act, TxDOT assumed responsibility from the FHWA for reviewing and approving certain NEPA required documents. The environmental review and approval process is being provided by TxDOT in coordination with the city for this project. The anticipated project schedule includes today's September 16, 2020 virtual public meeting, followed by the public comment period that ends September 30th, 2020. Once public comments are addressed, the design schematic would be finalized in October 2020. The need for a secondary public involvement opportunity would be evaluated once the environmental studies are complete, which is anticipated in November of 2020. The timeline for utility coordination is anticipated to be completed also in November of 2020. Plans, specifications, and an estimate will be developed between October and November of 2020, with construction letting in March of 2021. Construction would occur in the summer of 2021. Please note that these dates are preliminary and subject to change. The City of Longview is committed to continuing our efforts to gain public feedback about this project. We understand that this virtual public meeting format is a bit different. So let's take a few minutes and explain the comment process. Please note comments can be made throughout the comment period and will be included in meeting documentation. Given our current COVID-19 situation, the City of Longview is asking the public to provide their comments in the following ways. First, you may email your comments to Eddie at ecastaneda@half.com. And please note half has two F's, HALFF. You can mail your comments also to our company at Half Associates Inc., attention Eddie Castaneda, PE, 1121 East Southeast Loop 323, Suite 117, Tyler, Texas 75701. The public comment period closes on Wednesday, September 30th, 2020, which is 14 days from this virtual public meeting. Please ensure that your comment is received or postmarked by this date. The public may also call project staff at area code 903-617-5368 during regular office hours or email project staff at any time in the project development process. Ladies and gentlemen, we sincerely appreciate your attendance and interest concerning the proposed US 80 East Marshall Avenue Median Improvements Project. I will now turn the presentation back over to Alton for citizen comments and closing.
Okay, thank you, Bill. This is citizen comment. We have reached this portion of our meeting. Those wishing to participate in citizen comment tonight are invited to access the meeting through a link to register with the teleconferencing application. Richard Yakeley with the city's Media Development Division will moderate the citizen comment portion of our meeting. When you're called to speak, please begin by stating your name and address for the public record. Please try to keep your comments under 3 minutes. Richard, do we have any residents who want to speak tonight?
We do have a resident who has indicated they want to speak. Before we call on them, for everyone else who is in the room watching, if you do wish to speak during citizen comment, please do indicate so by raising your hand in the teleconferencing software, and we'll make sure to call on you. But we're going to start with Greg Jones, who is indicating he wants to speak. Greg, you should be unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. My name is Greg Jones. At 2015 East Marshall Avenue. I have the 3 acres, or representing 3 acres there, where the former American Dream Inn was, and also down the development East Haven Park, which is the Nansemond Way point that was mentioned earlier in the description. So based on what I see, just to verify, I do not see it. There's no cuts or breakage of that entire median plan. Is that right or wrong? Could y'all clarify that? In other words, there's no turn-ins included or breaks in the median from 259 all the way to the Harris County line. Is that correct?
There is a break about 700 feet east of Nansemond Way.
Right. So essentially, you know, I understand why I've looked at the traffic from the locations that I own and manage, and I understand the right in and right out is not effectively working for the school. However, the somewhat lengthy median that's being planned, I purchased in good faith the old American Dream Inn, not to make money. That area is hard to develop and will be hard to develop. And I've been working since with partners to try to bring development to that space that's now torn down, the hotel's torn down. The problem this medium for businesses all east of 259, basically having to go to Hallsville or to the Gregg County line to make a U-turn and do business on the north side of the median or north side of Highway 80 is going to basically take that entire run out of development. Majority of the population being from Longview and the east side of 259 being blocked for over a mile will essentially kill any development opportunity that I'm able to bring to that corner that was the American Dream Inn. Again, I'm trying to exit this and bring developers to just try to limit the loss of doing this. This was more of a, you know, the area is terrible. We want to clean it up, and in good faith with the city and talking with leadership in the city, everybody was all about it. But this never came up. The possibility of it never came up. The planning of it never came up. And so now I'm sitting on a piece of property that I could be sitting on that's going to pretty much be overgrown, just grass or not overgrown grass, but grass and old asphalt. And every building that still stands on that side could also face that same wrath. I would ask, and with some explanation as to, is this extreme 1.5 mile run necessary, considering you have commercial businesses that, or potential commercial businesses that would like, you know, clean up the area and bring good traffic and not the traffic that's there now up and down the road. You know, we can't do anything otherwise. It's going to continue to look like it is. It's going to continue to be empty. There'll be no tax revenue. So the impact of that is big, and I want it noted, please. And you know, was there any investigation done into the impact to the economy and the ability to develop that? Also, the apartment complex or the duplexes on Nansemond, there's 25 units there. So you have approximately 50 cars that are going to be, the majority of them work in Longview, some work in Hallsville, and the vacant land between Nansemond and 259 obviously is of interest to develop in some way, shape, or form other than CD hotels. And to do that, people live in Longview and pay the rent in Longview. So because they mostly work in Longview. And so coming home to any size development, the existing 50 units and potential future units that would go in, you have nurses, you have city employees, you have people that live in these duplexes that are essentially going to be making a U-turn on a major state highway with no lighting that I see on the plan to get to home every night in the winter, 5:30. So I see a potential with this being the point of safety for the school letting in and letting out, which is twice a day. And I've seen it happen often as I am on that property across the street. And the impact to everyone on either side of the median, safety wise, is of concern for the residents down on Nansemond Way. Right now, they have a immediate left turn, but now they're going to be driving out of the city limits or just up to and making a U-turn on a dark road. That's a very high traffic road. So I don't see, I see the impact on the negative side, on the non-safe side, not just the safety of people exiting outside of the school. I see about 20 to 30% of the people not coming out that are coming out of the school, and they're supposed to be using the right in and right out, that are essentially just bypassing it because it's a 15-foot piece of concrete there that they just take a right and make a U-turn. I don't know why we need a mile and a half of median to address that. So I would propose that something else or that this be looked at, or at least explained to the folks that are trying to develop that area as to what we can do. And if not that, why not a curb cut or two that allows people to make left turns into the businesses or potential businesses in the future?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jones. Your comments will be noted. There are other people on the line. If you're wishing to speak, please raise your hand in the teleconferencing software. Please raise your hand in the teleconferencing software if you're looking to speak during public comment, those who are also in the room. We did have one person come in and out, and they did send in some trying to get their audio working, and they weren't able to get their audio working. So I guess just as a reminder, this is the opening of the public comment period, and there will be, correct me if I'm wrong, but 14 more days of the public comment. So this is just the first opportunity to provide comment on this proposal. Other than that, I'm not seeing anyone. Oh, wait, the person who's trying to get audio just got back on. It's Brian Hatchett. I have unmuted him. He is self-muted, so he will need to unself-mute. Brian, are you there? You look like you have audio. Brian, are you there? You look like you're unmuted. Okay, I'm sorry about the confusion. We are still not getting Brian's audio, so we'll touch base with him and make sure that he's able to provide his input through another avenue. I'm seeing no other hands, so I think y'all are safe to move forward at this time.
All right, thanks, Richard, and thank you, Greg Jones, for providing comment. Remember, tonight's public meeting opens a 14-day public comment period, and we welcome additional feedback regarding the project. We are adjourned.